Need to get a little bit more going on, though. Because we're more or less just sat here right now, and that's silly. Right, so we've got 32 tiles here. We need to get 64. We've got it 4 tall, so 16. Mm-mm. 16 tiles possible from this point on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, because I'm really fussy about this sort of stuff, a little part of the walk there. There we go. Now, with that in mind, I really do like the whole oxyfern solution. I'm not going to lie. I find that exceedingly nice. So what I might want to do, because honestly, a natively growing oxyfern is probably more than enough. Ooh. If I could first get a pip in here and allow for a spot or two of natural tile. Ha 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 ha. Yes. That would consume the CO2 in this room. Whether the CO2 will really matter. Because mealwood can grow in CO2. And all I want are for glossy Dracos. Because I want their plastic scales. Also the meat, but, you know, plastic scales mostly. I could make this a much smaller room and just have one breeding Draco that just eats mealwood, and eventually you'll get a glossy Draco out of that. I could even then have an incubator in here. In fact, that might not be a bad idea. And then, again, you know, just ship them off to another room and either fill that with hydrogen and starvation ranch them, which, yeah, there's not, I haven't drunk enough coffee in the last few years to be okay with that. Or just once they've been sheared once, butcher them. We can totally do that, and we can use duplicant labor in order to do it rather than using a drowning method. That wouldn't be too hard to do, as long as we've got eggs in the system, then we can make use of that. Hey, Jack and Daddy! Hooray! 9 months! Aside from my marriage, this is the longest commitment I have made, and not regretted later. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Oh, man. That was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. But yeah, we could definitely have something like that. I could have... Let's just cancel these for now. No, I've already done that one, but... I could... effectively decide where I want a natural oxyfern to live. That way it'll just consume the tiny bits of CO2 that would be in here, producing tiny bits of oxygen. And that would be enough. Yeah. And what we can do is we can effectively have a butchering room. It's more duplicant labor intensive because you need someone to wrangle the overflow of critters. You need someone to deliver them to the butchering room, and then you need to butcher them. But it's reasonably, you know, it's not going to break the bank, let's say. Aavak, speaking of pips, did you know you can create natural tiles by deconstructing an airlock door? Yes, I did know about that one. As for the CO2, where was that? It was down here somewhere. Produces very cold CO2. Only a tiny amount of it every second. But it produces very cold CO2. You know what? It's probably time for me to give my dupes some more skills. Alright, so Shelley, you're already pretty good with the suit wearing and the such. The Force, you're my rancher, so I don't really want to take you down the farming route. That being said, I probably could. I could have both my farmers and ranchers able to do both farming and ranching. Alright. It's going to be so costly for you, though, because we're not producing nearly enough morale yet for that to offset for you. And this doesn't really give you anything, it just gives you a bit more agriculture skill, which you would get anyway from tending to crops. So I'm just going to leave that one. Alcramps, you'll actually enjoy building, so go ahead. So you've got everything I needed to have, as has Big Al. You do not yet, so let's grab you a little bit more. You know, you're a bit better at carrying. Also, you should have a better hat. And Peachy Keen, let's get you the prerequisite set of skills. Realistically, I should have gone for carrying there, but that's fine. I like everyone to have improved carrying up to 2. It's particularly nice. Right, so with that, sure. Let's go ahead and tap into this. Then we can have a look at that, see what it is. Also, there's not much point in having these there. I can get some help with the decor. Rising decor for my dupes would be a big help in getting their morale up a bit. Landscape canvas, that's a bit much. It's a bit much. I could, however, go for one of these. And I've got enough. Let's go with gold amalgam, I guess. No, it doesn't really matter. Spend a lot of time in their bedrooms, so let's get those areas sorted out. Also, could we please get that mopped? Oh my lord. Then we'll probably just do a massive sweep order in here. And to that end, let's go ahead and build this ready. Aavak, remember we talked about it last stream, that the cold CO2 was a good option to cool down the water vent, as they were very close to each other. Yeah, that's a good point, yeah. And Cool AF Man, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs there, mate. That was incredibly kind of you. That was really, really kind of you. Cheers, buddy. Once all that's done, what was the hot water geyser over there? Leaky oil fissure as well. Yeah, if we allow that water to just run down with this active, but the problem is this is going to get completely, well, that won't work for a while because it's going to get completely just you know, swallowed up by all the water in here. I'll need to set that up properly at some point. For the time being, it's not too bad. Oh, they seem to have all but... Oh no, we got some water there. Oh, it's the ice probably. Come on, get our all clean. It'll be good once that's done. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, kiwis can fly. Cheers for the cheer there. Cheers for the cheer, my lord. I didn't even mean to do that. Right. I'm hopeful that we... Like, when are you gonna... You're glum. Why? There's no one taking care... You know what? I think having the priorities set up the way they are, allowing proximity, is meaning that my ranchers are not taking care of the animals. I think that's the big problem there. Yeah, immediately my rancher got over there and, oh, well, tried, and then needed to go to the toilet. Damn it! Never mind. It's gonna be better. I promise. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Everyone's gonna be better soon. Oh, yeah. Right now, getting the situation sorted with our food is a much higher priority than almost anything else. Economy achievement earned. What do we get? Art Underground. Have a duplicant with the masterwork skill. Paint a masterwork piece quality painting. Marvelous. The only person decorating should be my duplicant who's good at it. You're the only one allowed to do that. Likewise, I'm going to say the only person allowed to do any cooking is the one who's good at it. It's just so that it goes past quickly. I mean... That's why. It's because you've been spending all your time ranching. Cooking. Should have dropped that down in priority. I generally don't want people who are bad at it to do it because it's such a long job. Build a closer path to the toilet? No. Because we're eventually going to have this as a soup dock. I want this completely contained. So I'm not going to make a second way in. But building another toilet somewhere would be fine. And we will probably do that. But for now, the big old fat nope. Right. Okay. Let's get this little area sorted out. Because we got no stress at the moment. But eventually we might do. Thunk. Thunk. And then I want marble block out of obsidian or granite. I think granite. Plunk. Right there. 'Twill be grand. Hey, that's coming along. I need more work in these rooms, like, quite desperately to make them really nice, but you know, we're getting there. Some hanging pots would be nice. Some golden hanging pots would be even nicer. Why is that not selecting it? There we go. There we are. Oh, look at you! We're good. It's on cloud 9. So sparkly. Will be granite. Oh. Dragon's breath. Aavak, with your speech earlier, you have inspired me to make a glossy Draco slaughter machine one day. Oh. That's all I have to say. Epic heavy size. That's all I have for you. Should we actually put an incubator in here, I wonder? Or just allow them to incubate naturally? I think I do actually want an incubator in here. So let's cancel this a little bit. Let's redesign this part of the room. I want that. Do we have enough copper? We do. Good. No, I've got no particular intention of powering that. I just want it there. The reason why I'm placing ladders is to prevent pips from being able to plant anything on those spots, because I'm going to put a little storage place here with an oxyfern seed, and I'm going to get a pip in here, and I'm just going to wait. Eventually the pip will plant the oxyfern there, and I suspect I'm only going to need one to deal with the entire oxygen, CO2 that will be produced by this room naturally. Right now there's a lot of CO2 around, but that won't always be the case. This oxygen is starting to compress the CO2 down. And that's going to just continue for now. Oh, wow, okay, there we go. Let's have a look at this. Can I get that analyzed on a 7? That would be grand. I mean, you're not going to be able to breathe down there while you're doing it, but who needs breath? Okay, that's not going too bad. We'll eventually get the seeds over there. Slowly making this place look nicer and nicer and nicer as we go. I'm disliking that my default build is on a 7. That should be a 6. It's preventing me from getting the things I want done quickly. And therein is the problem with always using high priorities. Anything else I want to do? I don't really care about the control, honestly. You can just continue producing more and more malts in there. There we go. Getting the power running. Good. Charging up the batteries. Super good also. Food shortage? Not really. That's not entirely true now, is it? Though down here, it's still a bit too hot for me to really dig much further until I get Atmo suits. That's going to take me a bit of time. Have you been... Trust? What? You don't appear to be Trust. Why are you Trust? You 100% don't seem to be Trust. I think we have a broken Draco. Could we try and unbreak the Draco? Please and thank you. Dragon Breath. I do know how the wild versus domestic plants work, but with regards to the oxyfen that I want in here, you may not have... well, actually, no, I think you've been here, but yeah, it might not have been clear what I was aiming for. I don't actually care about the oxygen. I'm producing oxygen from water. I don't need the oxyfen for that. What I want the oxyfen for is the deletion of CO2. The O2 is purely a side benefit. Which is why I think just one wild oxyfen. In fact, I could, should allow these to be wild oxyfens as well. Okay, so 3 wild oxyfen would be more than enough to generate that much CO2 consumption for me. I suspect 1 would be enough, because realistically, once this is properly drained of CO2 and the room properly built, the only time CO2 will get in there is when a duplicant breathes. I don't actually even need to get rid of it. But, yeah, it's nice to have kind of a system in place to clean the room of the gases that aren't meant to be in that room. What's the temperature in this whole place? It's okay. It's getting there. It's slowly getting better, thanks to these, largely. But once the ice stops flowing, that's going to get a bit less. But yeah, it's more of a method to deal with the CO2 than anything else, and that's why I was thinking about here. Since I'm going to be turning this into a nature reserve eventually, I'll just remove these entirely, and I won't have to worry about their plumbing whatsoever, and I can just have wild oxyfen growing over here. Whilst I'm still reliant on these plants as a very big part of my diet. It's not easy to do, but hopefully, in time, it's going to be something we can work on. Yeah, I know. Food is a bit rough. Hopefully, though, bristle blossoms are coming. They're on their way. Very, very soon. Very soon. Alright, can we get some of this... Actually, can we mop this up as a bit of a high priority? I know this seems odd to give such a high priority to just mopping an area that's full of ice, but The benefit to doing that is that the water then won't be able to absorb more heat from the ice that's there. Can't wait for that pufflet prince to start producing dense puffs. This is such a rough job for Shelley. You have to stand there in cold water, holding your breath, because the room is full of, you know, marginally cold CO2. I'm also going to delete that so that the gases can move around a little bit better, so this doesn't get completely over-pressurized. What is with you? There's something wrong here. That is very weird. Very weird indeed. I love watching them groom the animals. It's so funny. Reloading sometimes fixes broken critters. This sounds like a pretty solid idea. Okay, save. Donk. That should have actually been 3, but whatever. We'll leave it as 1. I don't need more than 1 save. Right, main menu. Donk. Hey, yo, Leafin, how you doing, mate? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing very well, in fact. There we go. Are you fixed? Are you fixed? You're fixed! Hooray! Straight down there to eat. Oh, thank goodness. Being groomed now. Okay, maybe our previous Draco got broken in a similar fashion. That's all I can imagine. Alright. I'm cool with this. Thank you for the tip, chat. That may well have just saved the last Draco on our map. How old are you? Oh yeah, you're still very young. Very young. We'll get it groomed. It'll start producing eggs. It'll be a good time. Eventually, it'll get moved to the other ranch. It'll be fine. 3 cheers for reloading, indeed. I'm doing good. Enjoying a fixed sleep schedule for as long as it lasts, which, let's be honest, it won't be that long. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Leafin. Well, I'm glad that you've got a fixed sleep schedule for now. For as long as it lasts, I hope it does you well. Yeah. Not a great time for you all, but, you know, it's the thing. Now, what do I have that I can plant here? Don't have any buddy buds, which is super sad, but, you know, it's the thing. Joyous seeds, I've got 1. Mirth leaves, I could definitely plant mirth leaves in here. Until I get some buddy buds, and then we can get some buddy buds. Because everyone needs to go to the toilet, everyone needs to eat. These are good places to put buddy buds. Also, how's this room looking? Ah, it's not a bad room, considering. Not a bad room, considering. Hey, Vomithrax, how you doing, mate? I imagine that you were playing some Cataclysm? Oh, it may be the, I'm terribly sorry, I keep forgetting his name. The 4X that I've been watching you play here and there. And the defense, there are no defenses. Let's be honest, my stream is basically an undefended and extremely rich monastery. On the coast. It's not even an inland monastery. It's on the coast. It's practically built on the beach. There's a dock there as well. An undefended dock. You were playing Cataclysm. Oh, awesome. Old World and Shadow Empire. There we go. Thank you. Shadow Empire was the one I was thinking about. Oh yeah, you won't find a prettier monastery along any of the coasts of this isle, in fact. But still, I'm just putting it out. It's pretty much just ripe for the picking. All right, at this stage, I think worrying about the heat up here. To be honest, 31 degrees is still bloody hot. But I'm going to deconstruct this icy fan. Let's just focus all of our cooling efforts down here instead. Over on this side, it's not cold enough, so I'm going to deconstruct these, and I'm going to build the second icy fan down here. So we've got all of the cooling down on this side. Draclet eggs! 100%! Maybe even more than 100%. We might go as high as 112.73. Yeah, I think that's realistically the only sensible answer. Anything more than that would just be lunacy. I am going to change this oxyphone. We're not again. This is an actual. This is a domestic oxyphone. I don't need it to be a domestic two domestic oxyphone down here. It's just unnecessary. How you do it, 9? I need that made as a priority 9. And this is why I reserve the priority 9s for the truly, I need this done right now because otherwise my Draco's going to escape. No, don't think about that's right. You keep going in that direction, mister. Yeah, you know better. Because you know what lies out there? The abattoir. Oh no. There we go. Whew. Yeah, you don't want to be out there. Inside is nice and full of chlorine and balm lilies, and it's generally a place where you'll be groomed and you'll be sheared frequently. I mean, there are literal people who would apparently take up arms against their countrymen for the sake of a haircut in the real world. You're fine. You're going to get one as standard. We'll even cart away the hair. It's going to be grand. I'm going to turn it into clothes. You'll never wear the clothes, of course. We'll wear the clothes. But, you know, it's a thing that we're doing basically for free. You just don't want to be outside. Because outside, it's hot. It's full of CO2. There's not as much food. Eventually, there'll probably be a drowning chamber. It's just bad times. Right, over here, though, we want Dracos. Draclet eggs, please, and thank you. Let's pop that out as an 8. The incubators always get an 8, as far as I'm concerned. They are high priority targets, because I don't ever want an egg accidentally getting cracked because it wasn't a high enough priority to stick it in one of the available incubators. If there is an incubator where that egg should be being harvested from, then it needs to be such a high priority that the only time an egg will be cracked ahead of being put in there is if I need it so badly I've given it a priority 9. Because then it's absolutely explicit. Other than that, though, shouldn't ever happen. Let's get all of this cleaned up, shall we? Because the sad thing about this is it's hot. This water is warm. People walking through it get very toasty ankles. And they just don't like toasty ankles. Well, this is starting to overflow a bit. Indeed. It's not a church. You don't tend to have priests at a monastery. I mean, I guess you do a little bit, but it's not normally where priests go. Priests don't tend to live in monasteries. It's usually more more of a monk thing. Or, you know, as some said, a paladin. Realistically, not many of those either. I mean, yeah, I guess you do sometimes. But yeah, it's more of a monk thing. You're gonna poop oxygen. Well, I'm seeing a decent amount of oxalite down here, yeah. Can't actually hover over the oxalite for an odd reason. Can I really not? Huh. Yeah, I can't seem to isolate. Oh, there we go. Yeah, oxalite there. There's very little, I suppose, so it doesn't really matter, but that oxalite isn't really gonna sublimate because it's just not enough available pressure for it. Welcome back, Lyle. Phew! That was a shit show of a call for work. A bit nerve-wracking also. Day is over now, so I can relax to the rest of the stream. Oh, sorry to hear that, mate. If it's not prying too much, what went wrong? You've been gone for a while now. I thought you'd fallen asleep. Still want to do something with all of this, but getting up there is a bit of a pain in the bum. And I want to try and get in control of our current food situation before I start worrying about that. It's going to take us a little while. Mostly, you know what? Actually, let me change the priorities as well. I don't want anyone farming or ranching if they are not my farmers or my ranchers. So once again, no one to do it. No one to do it. You do it as a massive priority. You do it as a semi-priority. You do that as massive. You do that as a semi, and same down here. There we go. No one else should ever be interacting with my crops or my animals. Now, the reason for the crops is, I believe, interacting with the crop. Like, actually, no, I guess it doesn't. I was going to say, does it affect the yield? But I think that's more of a RimWorld thing than an Oni thing. It's just time, I guess. But with ranching, because ranching is such a difficult skill to rise, because there's only one thing you can do to rise it, I realistically only want my rancher doing it. But if my rancher for some reason is busy, then I don't want my animal to die because my rancher was too busy doing something else. So I will allow for my farmers to help out because they're kind of in the same kind of ballpark thing that they do. Let's have a look at skills though. Need to get you these two still. Yeah, I'm not going to be giving you that farming. In fact, I kind of feel a bit bad about giving you crop tending at all. My other farmers are ranchers as well. They like ranching, so it's not a bad one. I wouldn't mind giving you a little bit of grilling, actually. So there's someone else who can help with the cooking. Because right now, outside of science, you don't really have much to do. Alright. Alright, Shelley, you can help out with cooking now. There you go. You can do it if it's available to do. In fact, I might even tell Shelley, look. Well, no. I'll have it on a low priority. I need someone who's actually a chef for anything else. I am getting really close now to thinking that, well, yeah, you know what? We can get another dupe in here. It'll be great. Seeds. There we go. Oxyfern, please. And thank you. Let's get that done quickly. If peeps wouldn't mind. Oh, there we go. Fantastic. Well done. Now we just need a pip. Pop those at 7s. Alright, pips. What the... Oh! I was like, what on earth am I Am I wrangling from the pipe? Is this some sort of new critter? Is it like some sort of weird fish that's living inside the plumbing? No, it's just, it was telling me that there was nothing else there. It was a hatch that was buried. That genuinely confused me. I was like, what? Wasn't I aware of some new creature? When did that get added?